bring up Cade Vandermolen, 5-batter here for the Trojans, playing second base. First pitch is a big swing and a miss. We'll see hopefully a lot of that today as Mason Shinneberry is consistently dominant for the Foresters. Always fun to watch him go out there and deal. In there for strike two. Here's the 0-2, skied foul behind the backstop. Oh and 2 with one out.
Shinneberry is that type of pitcher that'll want to work quick on the mound.
Sure will. This one is fouled behind Kelsheimer. Finds it behind him. So he wants to go talk to Shinneberry real quick. Foresters won the first one, as we would call it, the third game of the 4-game series, off of a walk-off, 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th.
Amazing baseball there by the Foresters. Couldn't find a hit since the second inning, but in the 9th they strike for 3 runs. Big offensive turnaround there for the Foresters.
Scored 4 runs in the first inning and nothing until the bottom of the 9th. Collected 3 runs to win the game. Base hit from Jarrett Gray won the game. And what is the biggest series of the game? Pitch was a ball. Count moves to 1 and 2. Shinneberry's pitch is swing and a miss, strike 3. Shinneberry gets his second strikeout of the afternoon. I'll bring up Cameron Knapp, center fielder for the Trojans. And what is a big rivalry series. Looking forward to this one every single year on that calendar.
Every game thus far in this series has been very exciting for both teams.
Pitch from Shinneberry in there for strike 1. Count will move to 1 and 1 with 2 outs. You mentioned every game close and exciting here at Forest Glen Park in the 4-game series. First game ending in a 7-6 win for the Trojans. Came right down to the last out. Second game, 5-2 score early on here this afternoon. So make up from a rain delay last Saturday. And this doubleheader be completed from the Friday cancellations.
We mentioned last game, this series, very crucial for both teams. Taylor wants to try to keep Huntington out of it. Huntington wants to try to stay in it.
Satchel Wilson makes the grab in a 1-2-3 inning for the Foresters. Right in order. Score is 0-0 in a 7-inning game on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
Welcome back to Forest Glen Park as Jarrett Gray sends this one to the backstop. Matt Tatowski on the mound, the freshman for the Trojans, and the Game 4 starter. Cameron Pitzer has some more stats on him for this season.
Yeah, Tatowski coming into the start, 3.91 ERA, 3 wins, 1 loss, and 3 games started for him, 25 and a third innings pitched, 21 hits, 12 runs, 11 of them earned, 9 walks, and 20 strikeouts.
Trojans have struggled to find that 4th game starter, and I think they pretty satisfied with Tatowski so far this year in 3 starts. This is his 4th career start. Used a variety of pitchers for that 4th game of the series. This one will be skied foul. Jarrett Gray, the walk-off hero in Game 3 that just happened here in the 9-inning game. Jarrett Gray with an RBI single to win it 8-7. Count moves to 2-2 with nobody out.
Taylor hoping for a win here. Give him to a series split between the Foresters.
You mentioned how important this series is. The Trojans at the top of the Crossroads League were 12-0 coming into the series. Picked up a couple losses to get the series to 2-1 in favor of the Foresters, who struggled a little bit the beginning of the Crossroads League play. Trojans come in at number 20 in the NAIA, and the Foresters picking up receiving votes.
Now batting the first baseman, number 23, Alex McCutcheon.
We'll bring up Alex McCutcheon.
Give me close-ups like waist up shots. What just
Squared a bunt. This one will go foul. Interesting to see. McCutcheon not much of a bunter, especially with nobody on.
A lot of power in that bat from McCutcheon.
Be swung on, fouled back on a check swing.
Wind blowing toward right field here at the Glen.
This one outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. This pitch is high for ball 2. Swung on to the ground of the shortstop. Rushi will make the play. Almost pulled his foot was TJ Bass over at first, but kept the foot on and got the out.
Now batting the Foresters left fielder, number 31, Cam Dice.
Bring up Camden Dice. Foresters Game 1 starter and left fielder. This will be grounded up the middle. Nicely played by Nick Rushi. The Trojans get the Foresters down in order. 0-0 is our score at Forest Glen Park here on FDN Sports. Mason Shinneberry will come out for his third inning of work. Cameron Pitzer has some stats on Mason Shinneberry on this very dominant season thus far.
Yeah, you said it there, Ryan. I mean, he comes in, he's one of the most dominant pitchers in the Crossroads League for sure, maybe even the nation, with the ERA sub 2 at 1.42. 5 wins, no losses, and 5 games started. 1 complete game, 31 and 2/3 of an innings pitched. Giving up 25 hits, 6 runs, and 5 of them earned, 5 walks, and 40 strikeouts.
Shinneberry likes to work really quick, as you'll see, and you have seen in the second inning of this game. Collects a lot of strikeouts to his name.
Foresters like it when he's on the mound. Gives them a good chance.
You'll have to deal with Brett Lawson, who has given the Foresters all the trouble that he can give. 5 RBIs in this series, including a 2-run home run. So this one's going to be skied in the air way back, and making the grab is Ian McCutcheon in center field. What a play from Ian McCutcheon. They'll bring up Jacob Morris for the Trojans. Batting 8th in this lineup. (1-0) in there for strike 1. Shinneberry ready. Fires a changeup. Count will move to 2-1. So it'll be skied to center field. Playable for Ian McCutcheon. He'll make the second out of the inning.
Now batting the Trojans catcher, number 34, Ben Calball.
Catcher Ben Calball will come in. He's caught in every single game of this series.
Definitely a staple in this Trojans lineup here.
This one skied in the air towards center field. Who's going to catch it? It'll be Ian McCutcheon. That'll be the third out of the inning. Ian McCutcheon collecting all 3 outs, including a beautiful diving catch out in center. Score remains 0-0 here on FDN Sports. Nick Rensberger will lead things off for the Foresters in the bottom half of the third. Game's going along pretty quickly here.
Kellen Kelsheimer on deck for this inning here, but last game, as the Foresters struggled to find that next hit. Couldn't find a hit since the second inning, but Kelsheimer comes up in the 9th. Late in the game with a double, started the rally for the Foresters, led to the walk-off single by Jarrett Gray, as you mentioned earlier.
Kelsheimer with a couple big hits in his young career for the Foresters. He'll bat second in this inning. Rensberger, technically his sophomore season, but obviously due to COVID last year canceling the season, really didn't get that much time to get out there and play.
That is right.
Got a lot of power in that bat, hasn't been able to showcase it due to all the seniors coming back for an extra year. Hasn't been able to find that much time, but does have a lot of pop in that bat.
What better time to display it than right now?
under the bright lights on FDN Sports.
Yeah, because Tim said that he's going to try and rotate.
This one will be fouled back, evening the count at 1-1. Big swing and a miss from Rensberger. Count will move to 1-2 now. Bats 8th in this lineup for the Forsters. Then we'll go to 9 and then top with Ginder. The 1-2. That's going to hit him. Or no, it did not hit him. Excuse me.
Awfully close, though.
Looked like it from up here. 2-2 instead. Outside for a ball. This will be grounded to the third baseman, Lawson. Throw it across his body, and it'll be too high.
Lawson struggled to get the ball out of his glove there. Ends up making a bad throw and higher than the head of TJ Bass over there at first base. Rensberger finds his way on. Good start for the inning. With 2 outs, yes.
Now batting the catcher, number 28,
My apologies. There are 2 outs on the scoreboard. There are no outs here in the inning. This is the top. This is the start of it here.
Right. Could never trust the scoreboard, even though I do that every single pitch. Catcher Calbaugh went over to retrieve that baseball to keep Rensberger at first. It's a big play by him as Kelsheimer squares to bunt. He'll get it down. Didn't realize it, but then it's going to be a bobbled play by the first baseman Bass, and a couple blunders here for the Trojans. Put the first 2 runners on for the Forsters.
2 errors by the Trojans here in the 3rd inning. Could be costly. We'll see how the Foresters respond.
TJ Bass just looking for a good throw over at first. He's not having a good time over there.
No, he's not.
Calbaugh will go over to his pitcher, Dutowski. Ryan Hale will come in to pinch run the speedy, tall and strong pinch runner.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, Langston Ginder.
Ryan Hale with 5 stolen bases on the season, 7 attempts.
One of the strongest guys, if not the, well, he is the strongest guy on the team.
Absolutely.
No doubt about that, but one of the fastest ones too.
Not a stolen base situation here with a runner on second, as he does stand at first. No outs in the bottom of the 3rd.
The transfer from Ball State 2 years ago, Langston Ginder, will come up and he'll show immediately a square. He'll bunt this one. It'll be caught by the third baseman. Not exactly what the Foresters were looking for.
Potentially the right call. First baseman was crashing, but Ginder just didn't get the bunt down.
That'll bring up Ian McCutcheon, who doubled in his last at bat. He's had himself a afternoon for the Foresters.
Absolutely.
Had a double, single, and a 2-run homer back in the first inning of the 9-inning game played earlier. This one goes in for a strike. It's 1 out now. Runners at first and second. McCutcheon trying to bring some runs home. It's going to be foul towards the first base side in the Trojans dugout.
You do have to remember this is a 7-inning game. Less opportunities to score runs. Foresters still looking to make it happen right here.
It doesn't seem like those 2 innings are really that much, but in reality they really are.
Well, according to last game, 2 innings would have made a difference.
Exactly. Jump on you quite quickly and obviously can change the outcome of a game. And with a guy like Shinneberry and Datowski on the mound, you'd like to see both of them go the whole way.
Absolutely.
Pitch will be outside for a ball. 1-2 the count now. Daniel Lichty awaits that on deck, pending a double play. Swung on and missed for McCutcheon.
Big swing there by Ian.
Now batting the third baseman, number 16, Daniel Lichty.
Daniel Lichty up to bat, one of the best hitters on this Foresters ball club. Hasn't had the success at the plate as he's been wanting recently. Earlier in the season, he was batting in the 400s. Here we see him batting around 325.
First pitch is in there for strike 1.
But what a season you must be having if you're hitting in a slump and you're still hitting 325.
Exactly. It's won a batting title for the Foresters back in 2019. On 1 will be skied foul over in the creek. One of the more unique facets of Forest Glen Park.
A beautiful venue here for some baseball.
Oh, 2 pitch, called the ball outside. 1-2 the count now. This one swung on to the first baseman, TJ Bass, and that one's going to get through. 1 run will score. Hale will be held up at third, and Daniel Lichty will stand up at second base with the 3rd error of the inning. All at first base. The Foresters go up 1-0.
Big breakthrough there for the Foresters. Yet to have a hit in this inning, but 3 errors proved costly.
Rensberger getting on from the arid throw. Calbaugh throwing one in the dirt towards Bass, and then Bass had one of his own. I'll bring up Satchel Wilson, the cleanup man, trying to do his job here and clean up the bases for the Foresters. We'll have to do it with 2 outs and 2 runners on, both in scoring position. Swung on and foul.
Big hack there by Satchel Wilson. Got a lot of power there as well. I'll tell you this much, though. The Foresters lineup does know how to hit.
Been struggling a little bit as of late, but last game, this series, really kind of found their groove a little bit. Trojans have been just as good as well from the plate, doing a great job coming back down 4-1. Will be in the air and caught by the foul line, and the Trojans, before giving up a run, will end the inning. Stranders runners at second and third. 1-0 Foresters. We'll head to a commercial break on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
Mason Shinneberry will go out there in the top half of the fourth inning, in his fourth inning of work. Has a couple strikeouts on the day. Foresters took a 1-0 lead off of 3 errors and no hits. That's what happens when you put the ball in play, Cameron.
Yes, it is. TJ Bass just wanted a good throw.
Nick Rushi will come up to the plate. Flied out in his last at bat off of Shinneberry. First pitch will be too high for a ball. Shinneberry loving to work quick. Pitch will be outside for a ball. 2-0. Swinging and towards the foul line and makes the catch.
Exact same location Rushi flew out to the last at bat. One away in the fourth.
Camden Dice makes the play over and left. Now our game one starting pitcher Joe Moran will come up, the two-way player. That one in there for strike one on Joe Moran. Moran can get it done at the plate and on the mound for the Trojans, and that's an understatement.
He walked in his last plate appearance. Been the only base runner for the Trojans this game.
This one will be too far inside. Foresters were wondering where that one was. Here's the 3-1. This one will be skied in the air towards left field. Going back is Camden Dice. Close to the warning track, but he'll camp under it and make the grab for out number 2. Ball just kept carrying a little bit, but eventually was halted.
Big bat of TJ Bass here.
He's got 5 bombs on the season and has given the Foresters problems just like his teammate Brett Lawson. First game went 3 for 5 and he's collected a couple intentional walks.
There's a lot of fear that follows that name there.
1-0. Called the ball. We'll move to 2-0. This will be fouled back, out of play. Here's the 2-1 from Shinneberry. Too high for ball 3. If Bass were to reach, Cameron Crawford sits on deck. Swung on and fouled back. Bring the count to full. As full as it gets. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. This one will be past the catcher for a ball. That'll give TJ Bass a free pass.
Cameron Crawford comes in.
Hit a go-ahead home run
Connor Crawford.
in the first game. Put the Trojans up 5-4. For the Foresters exploded for 3 runs to win 8-7. First pitch, curveball in there for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. That one will be in the dirt and past Kelsheimer. Bass will slowly run into second base easily. Kelsheimer will call time and talk to Shinneberry. Crawford struck out last at bat. Back in the second inning. Now sits in with a 1-1 count. Shinneberry deals. Swing and a miss. Big hack. One and 2 the count. Runner at second base. Trojans trying to even this one up. This one too low for ball 2.
This has been Shinneberry's most difficult inning thus far.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled towards Daniel Lichty over at third. We'll try 2-2 again. Here's the pitch from Shinneberry. This one in the air towards right field. Under it is Jarrett Gray. He'll make the catch. Shinneberry strands the runner on second base as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. 1-0 Foresters on FDN Sports. Matt Tatowski will come out for another inning of work. Doing pretty well for Trojans here so far. Just 1 run unearned. Foresters will bring out Jarrett Gray, followed by Alex McCutcheon and Camden Dice.
Leading off for Huntington in the bottom of the fourth, number 11, the right fielder, Jarrett Gray.
Jarrett Gray, a hometown hero, Huntington North High School. Following him is Alex McCutcheon, who bats 6th in the lineup, also Huntington North High School. And his brother Ian bats 2nd in the lineup, Huntington North High School. It's become a bit of a product for the Foresters. Very good one, too. Pitch will be outside for ball 2. So it'll be in the air, playable. It'll be caught by Vandermolen. Bring up Alex McCutcheon, our game 2 starter.
Two-way player. Throws hard on the mound. Swings hard at the plate. A lot of power in that bat.
First pitch is in there for strike 1.
So the first one's balls, the second one's strike.
Yeah, I just.
0-1 is too high and inside. Evens it up at 1-1 to McCutcheon. This one in there. Right on the corner for strike 2. McCutcheon trying to get things started for the Foresters. Will be swung on towards left field. Shortstop, Rushi, going to make the grab.
Bring up left fielder number 31. Cam Dice.
Two-way player and a two-way athlete.
Foresters have found some success with that.
Pitch is too far inside. Two and 0 the count now. Be swung on up the middle, playable for Nick Rushi. He'll make the play and end the inning. 1-2-3 inning for the Trojans. So we'll add to the top half of the 5th. This is FDN Sports. Mason Shinneberry back out for 5th inning of work. No runs so far for the Trojans. Shinneberry keeping them in check. Game just kind of gliding along.
Yes, it is.
Leading off for Taylor at the top of the 5th inning, the second baseman, number 5, Vandermolen.
Bring up the second baseman for the Trojans, Cade Vandermolen. First pitch, curveball in there for a strike. Think we'll see a little bit more off speed now that Shinneberry's second time in the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that the Trojans lineup is probably sitting on the fastball.
Shinneberry wanted to show a lot of fastballs. Throws all off speed here. This one's into Ian McCutcheon for out number 1. We'll bring up Camden Knapp, the center fielder. Knapp's a freshman, listed as a pitcher / infielder. from Goshen, Indiana, and Northridge High School. Too high for ball 2. It's one low again for ball 3. Shinneberry losing him. Finally finds the zone for strike 1. A little bit uncharacteristic for Shinneberry, but does have a 2 walks in this game. This will be skied to left field. Camped under it is Dice, and he'll make the catch.
Shinneberry doing a great job showing his expertise and ability to be able to work out of those jams there.
Bring up Brett Lawson. First pitch, just miss. Big swing and a miss from Brett Lawson. It was a big hack from him.
Yes, it was. Hey, but you can imagine velocity, if you connect with it, that ball may go a long way.
This one is kind of scorched up the middle, but fielded by Ginder, and that will retire the side 1-2-3 again for the Forsters. We'll head to bottom half of the 5th inning in a 1-0 game in favor of the Forsters. Matt Tatowski comes back out for the Trojans, the freshman, in a pitching duel with Mason Shinneberry. Just 2 combined hits from both sides in this ball game. Huntington got things going in the 3rd inning. 3 errors, no hits, but did score a run. In the final game of the 4-game series in this top matchup between the Taylor Trojans and Huntington Foresters in the Crossroads League.
Leading off for Huntington in the bottom of the 5th inning, the designated hitter, number 19, Nick Rensberger.
DH Nick Rensberger will come up. Reached on an error to lead things off in the 3rd. Eventually scored the first run and only run of the game. First pitch, kind of a swinging butt over to Brett Lawson over at 3rd as he makes the play. Not the swing that you like to look at.
Nope.
On film.
Will be kicking himself on that one, but
Here comes the catcher, Callan Kelsheimer, another freshman from Wabash, Indiana.
getting it done late last game.
Sure did. This one in there for strike 1. Kelsheimer's first pitch ever seen in college was an RBI double at IU Southeast. We'll be talking about that for another 4 years.
Yep, not a lot of people can say that.
Pitch is way outside for ball 1. Moves count to 1-2. Kelsheimer also plays in the outfield. swung on and missed. Strikeout for Dutowski. 2 quick outs. I'll bring up to the top of the order Langston Ginder.
Now batting the leadoff hitter, number 3, Langston Ginder.
Ginder 0 for 2 on the day, struck out in his first at bat and bunted for an out over to Brent Lawson at third base. The first pitch, swinger right to center field. And he'll make the catch, Camden net. 1-2-3 for the Forsters. This game just keeps going right along. 1-0 Forsters on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
Top of the 6th inning for Mason Shinneberry in a 7-inning game for the Foresters.
The game is moving at his pace. He is controlling this one.
Trojans will bring up Jacob Morris, followed by Ben Calbaugh and Nick Rucci. 8, 9, and top.
Leading off for Taylor at the top of the 6th inning, number 35, Jacob Morris.
Here's the first pitch from Shinneberry. Too high for ball 1. One just outside. Swung on to center field to McCutcheon. Going back to the wall. It's going to go over. So what it looks like is Boris slipped up at first. So he's only going to get a single on that one, and that's going to end the no-hit bid for Shinneberry.
I wasn't going to say it until now, but another fun attempt there by Shinneberry. It was the Grace Series. It was fun to call his game. He threw a perfect game through X amount of innings.
Great shot by a Canberra crew there as he slips over the bag. Luckily, he's okay. Squaring to bunt, but Shinneberry, he almost made the catch. The Forsters are still going to get the out at second. So still a positive play for the Forsters, but it looked like Shinneberry was going to have himself a double play.
Who knows? He could have also done that on purpose. Let him tell it.
Could. Definitely wants to try to get 2 outs, but does still end up being negative for the Trojans as they tried to advance the runner, instead picked up an out and still have a base runner on first.
So bring up Nick Rucci, proven to be a solid bat at the top of the Trojans lineup.
First pitch is too high. Runner going. Swung on to Shinneberry. He'll have to make a play over to first, and he does. Trojans get their base runner to second on kind of a swinging bunt, but now has 2 outs.
Now batting the DH, number 28.
Bringing up Joe Moran. 0 for 1 on the day, but walked.
Only 2 strikeouts from Shinneberry this far.
kind of rare to see. His last outing at 9 at the Bethel Pilots, collecting the win. But this Taylor Trojans team knows how to hit the ball, and they're putting the ball in play.
Yes, they are.
Props to the Forester defense, making it a little bit easier for them. Shinneberry has 70 pitches now. Very efficient. This pitch will be in there for strike 1. Count will move to 2-1. If Moran reaches, TJ Bass sits on deck. Not the guy that you want to be up in this situation. Swung on and missed from Bass. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Battle between 2 aces. Joe Moran, the game 1 starter. Shinneberry, the lowest DRA on the Foresters team. The 2-2 outside. Count is full. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and fouled back, making this even more dramatic. A reminder, this is just a 7-inning game. 1-0 pitching duel between Shinneberry and Dutowski, senior and freshman.
Kind of a pleasing switch up here from last game, scoring a lot of runs, and now
this one's gonna let him go over to first, and now TJ Bass will come up with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Shinneberry's 3rd walk of the game. First pitch in there for strike 1 on the off speed. Joe Moran at first. Jacob Morris at second. Trojans trying to tie this thing up or take the lead with 1 swing of the bat. Pitch is in there. Another off speed for strike 2.
Bass quickly deep in the count here.
Shinneberry looking for 1 more. Here's the pitch. Swung on to the shortstop. Satchel Wilson flips over to second base. And that'll do it for the top of the 6th. 1 hit, 2 base runners left on for the Trojans. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th on FDN Sports. Matt Dutowski has 65 pitches today. 5 innings of work, just 2 hits. No walks and no earned runs, but 1 run total. Trying to keep the Foresters in check before the top of the 7th inning. I'd bet we'd see Shinneberry come back for the 7th inning to try to
I think
finish
you're
it.
right.
But the Foresters definitely want some insurance before that happens.
Forrester's only run came off of 3 errors in the 3rd inning by the Trojans.
First pitch is roped towards head coach Thad Frame, taking over duties from head coach Mike Frame this season. Both Frames do a great job with this organization. Establish a winning culture just like the Trojans have. One just misses for ball 1 to Ian McCutcheon. Tatowski will have to take on McCutcheon, Lichty, and Wilson. 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. This one is roped to left field. Going back to the track, and it's going to hit right in front of the wall. McCutcheon will have his 2nd extra base hit of today, at least for this game. Foresters have a leadoff double with Daniel Lichty coming up.
Ian never disappoints to display his power, that's for sure.
Had a home run last game, so total today has 3 extra base hits. He's seeing the ball well.
Yes, he is.
So bring up Daniel Lichty, and they'll intentionally walk him. Adding pressure to the Foresters' bats as now they have a double play scenario and
Trojans have somebody in the bullpen. Potentially talking about how they want to attack Wilson here. And then with the lefty Jarrett Gray up after him, they might bring in a lefty from the pen. And it looks like they do have a lefty warming up down there.
Be tough to take Tatowski out as well as he's been pitching, other than a couple errors in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nothing really doing for the Foresters other than this inning here. Tatowski's really did a good job with the Foresters, slowing them down from their 3-run inning to win on the walk-off.
That is the truth.
We'll bring up Satchel Wilson. The Trojans intentionally walked Wilson last game, which ended up costing them as Gray had the RBI single to win the game. This time they'll walk Lichty to get to Satchel Wilson. As he squares to bunt, they'll try to pick him off at second base, but not in time. Still nobody out. Wilson squares again. First baseman's in. He'll pull back for strike 1. Forester is a team that is not afraid to bunt with their 3 and 4 hitters. Seen it all season long. Wilson squares and he misses it. Strike 2. We have seen the Foresters try to bunt with 2 strikes a couple times this season. We'll see if they relax that here with Wilson as he's the cleanup hitter. He will not square. This one will be launched into center field. Going back to the track, to the wall, and just off the top of the wall, Wilson's going to head to third. 2 runs will score, and the Foresters are now up 3-0.
Big power there by Satchel Wilson. This one hit dead center, hits the middle of the wall on a line. Amazing shot by Satchel Wilson there.
The head coach for the Trojans will call time and bring in his bullpen piece.
It's the exact scenario, bringing up lefty Jarrett Gray.
And we're gonna head to break and give you the stats on the relief pitcher on FDN Sports. Cy Stanley will come in for the Taylor Trojans in relief. Cameron Pitzer has some more stats on him.
Yes, I do. Cy Stanley comes into this appearance, no ERA, 1 win, no losses, 3 games pitched, 2 and a third innings, 1 save, 1 run, and it was not earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Coming in from the left side, that exact scenario might not be the exact way that the Trojans wanted it, with 2 runs crossing the plate, but bringing up lefty bat Jarrett Gray, the right scenario to bring in a left-handed pitcher.
Dutowski's day is done.
Pitched very well.
Did pitch very well. Props to the freshman. I'm sure he'll be a thorn in the Crossroads League side for years to come. Just didn't have it in the last inning that he pitched. But overall, a good day from him. I'll give it over to Stanley. You'll have to face Jarrett Gray. Still with nobody out, Satchel Wilson tripled to deep center field. Again, the Forsters hit the fence about 4 times in that first inning of play that we saw earlier today, and of course happening again.
It looked like the center fielder was playing in on Wilson as it completely burned him.
That 400 sign out there in center field, can't really blame anybody for playing that far in.
Right.
Infield is in now for Jarrett Gray. Walk-off hero in the 9-inning game earlier. First pitch is outside and gloved by Ben Calbaugh. Lefty on lefty matchup. 1-0 is outside. Moves the count to 2-0. Is outside. Now moving it to 3-0. Alex McCutcheon waits on deck. Here's the 3-0 in there for strike 1, right down the middle. Fly ball to the outfield would likely score a run. Satchel Wilson with a lot of speed over at third base. Deep fly ball foul.
Really turned on that one.
Sure did. The 3-2 to Gray. Too high for ball 4. They'll bring up Alex McCutcheon. 0 for 2 in this game.
Number 23, Alex McCutcheon.
We'll see if the Foresters try to move Jarrett Gray over to second. The Trojans retreating back to double play depth in the Middle of the infield.
Third
Corners
baseman
are in.
playing in.
First pitch outside, called a strike though. Gray over at first. He won't go. This one too high. 1-0 on the count. One. Fouled back. Count moves to 1-2 now. The first baseman, McCutcheon. Camden Dice awaits on deck. Outside for ball 2.
Trojans have yet to get an out this inning.
The 2-2. Gray moving. Be outside for a ball again. Gray will steal, standing up, killing the double play, and now runners will go into scoring position, second and third. Infield will move in. It's a great shot from our camera. The 3-2. Swung on and fouled back, staying alive. Three and 2 the count. Pitch is outside for ball 4. Loading the bases for Camden Dice. Head coach for the Trojans will come out. Somebody will come in. And we'll let you know as we'll go to break on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
Welcome back to Forest Glen Park. Foresters load the bases here with nobody out, and we have a new pitcher. Cameron?
Jack Ross coming in, making his appearance here with the 7.71 ERA. 4 games pitched, 4 and 2/3 innings. Giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, all 4 of them earned. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Thank you for that, Cam. Camden Dice will face him. It's the first time we've seen him in this game. Dice will have to take a few and see how he throws. Big cheering section for Dice as he went up. He's got an explosion from behind the backstop. A couple soccer players and a couple friends of Camden Dice's. Dice plays not only 2 positions, he pitches and plays left field, but also plays 2 sports. Plays soccer on the Foresters team in the fall and then gears up for baseball. Not the two-way athlete that you really expect in college, but nonetheless, Dice does get it done very well on both sides. An extreme competitor.
Yeah, his
Coach
wheels
said.
on the base path proved very beneficial for this team.
Absolutely. And a lock out there in left field.
Absolutely.
Jack Ross ready for his first pitch. This one in there for strike one. Bases juiced. Trojans playing in. Ground ball would come to home. Here's the 0-1. Swung on to center field. Center fielder going back. He'll camp under it now as he makes the grab. Forsters will tag up at going to home and over to third. McCutcheon thought about going to second, but thought better of it. Now the Forsters take a 4-0 lead.
A good job by Camden Dice there to get the sac fly, get the job done. Bringing in a nice insurance run.
I'll bring up Nick Rensberger, a big bat. Reached on an error earlier in this one, also grounded out. Runners at the corners. First pitch in there for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and fouled back. 0-2 now. Pending a double play, Kelsheimer will be on deck. 9-hitter for the Foresters. Runner going on 0-2. Faked it actually. Goes back to first, and that'll be strike three on Rensberger. McCutcheon even fooled me up here.
Now batting the catcher, number 28, Callan Kelsheimer.
Bring up Kelsheimer. Now with 2 outs. Top of the order waits for the Foresters. Kelsheimer has to get on first. First pitch, too far inside for a ball. It's been a while since we've seen Mason Shinneberry out there. It's a bit chilly today. We'll see if that affects him in his last inning of work.
He has been lights out this game.
Check swing, he did go, says home plate umpire. 1-1 now. One swung on to the second baseman. Field and throw it over to TJ Bass, and that will end the inning. Foresters do tack on 3 runs of insurance for Mason Shinneberry, who comes out to try to complete this game with a shutout. This is FDN Sports. Mason Shinneberry coming out. Last inning of play unless the Trojans get 4 or more. 7-inning game. 4-0 Foresters. Getting 3 runs of insurance. Got a double from Satchel Wilson to head off the top of the wall.
Triple.
Triple, excuse me. That's right. It's faster than that. A sac fly RBI from Camden Dice.
Shinneberry with a 1-hitter through 6 innings so far.
And just 2 strikeouts. A bit rare from Shinneberry, but not as surprising. This Taylor Trojans team is a very good hitting team.
Absolutely.
They've been putting the ball in play, but Forrester's defense has stifled the Trojan bats, at least to this point here in the top of the 7th inning. Crawford, Vandermolen, and Knapp will face Shinneberry at the minimum. First pitch, called a ball. Pitch is called a strike. Said he went. One and 1 the count. Here's the pitch from Shinneberry. In there for strike 2 on the off speed. Seen a lot more curveballs, Cameron.
Yes, we are. After a couple times going through the lineup, he doesn't want them to be able to guess what he's throwing.
1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Shinneberry gets him on strikes. That'll bring up Cade Vandermolen. His 3rd strikeout of the day.
I'm sure Mason wouldn't mind getting everybody out of here before the sun goes down.
He has complete control over that. Big leg kick, called a ball. Ono is outside for a ball again. Two-0 in there for strike 1. Two one, called a ball and close. 3-1 our count. This one swung on and launched foul.
If that one had stayed fair.
Yeah, that was out of here.
That may have been through the arch.
Wow.
But just a long strike.
It's very true, to say the least. 3-2 our count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. We'll try 3-2 again. Three and 2. Here's the pitch. It's roped again, foul. That one's splashing into the creek. Vandermolen seeing Shinneberry very well this at bat, just hasn't been able to straighten it out. 3-2 again. One call the ball. Might be a good thing for Shinneberry, as Vandermolen was seeing him very well.
Yes, he was.
Double play will be intact. Kel Scheimer letting Shinneberry know that, saying, hey, give me a ground ball here. Camden Knapp will come up. 0 for 2, pop out and a fly out. trying to scratch off a run for the Trojans here in the top of the 7th. This one called the ball inside. Here's the 1-0. Inside for a ball. I've seen Shinaberry in a couple counts getting behind here, Cameron. Kind of uncharacteristic of him.
Yep. There was an inning there a few innings ago where he had a runner at second, probably his worst inning. Turned out to be the only base runner he gave up, though.
Did have 2 base runners 1 inning as well, but got out of it. He'll call time. Take a big hack. Two-1 to Knapp. This one skied in the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. So at least score a run for the Trojans. Killing off the complete game shutout. Trojans bats are alive here. The hit double in the gap from Camden Knapp. Freshman.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Brett Lawson.
Brett Lawson will come in. He's had a home run in this series, double with an RBI. Very capable of doing it. Shinaberry trying to end things before they get out of hand. First pitch will get to the backstop. Kelsheimer will pick the ball up. Runner will go to third.
Favorable bounce there off the padding on the backstop.
Shinaberry in a little bit of trouble here. Runner on third. Still just 1 out. Brett Lawson at the plate. This one will be roped for a base hit, and the Trojans have cut the lead in half here in the top of the 7th.
Wanting to make it interesting here.
We'll bring up the 8-hitter, Jacob Morris. Had the first hit of the game off of Shinaberry. Should have been a double, but slipped up as we had on replay over at first base and only got a single out of it.
Wouldn't be an appropriate game this series if it wasn't interesting.
This one in there for strike 1. That's the versatility of the Trojans. They can hit 1 through 9. Here's the 0-1 into the dirt.
Good stop there by Kelsheimer.
Very good stop. Keeping the double play intact. Shinaberry trying to get a ground ball and end this game. One swing of the bat can tie this one up. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Strike 2. Pending a double play, Ben Calbaugh sitting on deck, the catcher for the Trojans. It's 9th in the lineup. Curveball too high. Ball 2. Shinaberry trying to figure things out here in the top of the 7th. Has looked dominant until now. This pitch will be skied to left field. Camden Dice going back, and he'll make the play. Big out there for the Forsters, as now the Trojans are held back against the wall with their last out of this series.
Now batting
Foresters trying to go 3-1 in the series. The Trojans trying to do everything they can to tie it. A lot on the line here in the Crossroads League. First pitch on the ground to Daniel Lichty. This should do it. He'll fire over to first, and the Foresters take a 3-1 series win over the top team in the Crossroads League, the Taylor Trojans, in a rivalry matchup. Final score, Foresters 4, Trojans 2. This has been Ryan Walker and Cameron Pitzer on FDN Sports.